4,300 meters, 20 hours of climbing. Hypothermia is setting in, and the summit? Still 500 meters away. This is the story of how my dream of summiting Mont Blanc turned into one of the hardest decisions I ever made. Spoiler alert, everything that could go wrong did actually go wrong, but that's how made this one of the most valuable experience of my life. Hey everyone, my name is Fabio. This is a channel where I share my stories in the mountains and in the nature. Today I'm taking you through my first experience of alpine climbing in Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let me tell you a little bit about this climb that humbled me. So let me rewind a little bit. It's been a couple of years that I've been dreaming about mountaineering. Just last year, I did my first taste climbing the Iztaccihuatl, the third highest peak in Mexico, at 5,230 meters. And that climb, oh man, that climb changed me. The challenge, the feeling of pushing my body and my mind to the very edge. But Mont Blanc was a different game. It wasn't just hiking at high altitude. This was real alpinism. And the Grand Couloir being one of the most dangerous places in Mont Blanc. Very people already lost their lives there. But I felt ready. My partner and I, we had a solid plan. Plan was to go from the valley, take the tramway to Nid d'Aguilet, and that will let us at 2,600 meters of altitude. From there, take a little break, rest, and then hike again to Tetros Refuge. And that refuge, it's more or less about 3,300 meters of altitude. From there, we should rest a little bit, try to have a sleep, gear up, eat something, and start climbing again at midnight, 1 a.m. And from there, trying to push to the summit for sunrise. And then come back. Sounds simple, right? So on May 29th, me and my friend, we land in Geneva. And from there, we took a bus to Chamonix. Honestly, everything looks perfect. The town was beautiful, snow-capped peaks. Everything looks amazing. And the weather forecast? Chef's kiss. Was amazing for the next 2 days. On the next morning, we were really relaxed. We walked around town, we double-checked our gear, we prepared ourselves, we enjoyed the town because on the afternoon we just needed to take the train to the 2,600 meters to Nid d'Aguilet, and from there we just had like 800 meters hike to the Tetros Refuge. But then, 1 hour before leaving, we have discovered that the tramway wasn't working. The train what? Out of service? No warning, no backup plan, and now we needed to hike from Los Oches at 1,000 meters to Tetros at 3,300 meters. Now most of people will wait a day, reschedule, but we are feeling confident, and maybe too confident. The first section, not bad. We are making a decent time through the trees, past the tramway to Mont Blanc station, pushing hard. By 4-5 p.m. we reached the Nid d'Aguilet, around 2,300 meters. We took a little break, eat something, adjust our gear, and that's when we see it. Snow. So much snow. We are not prepared for that many snow at that time of the year at that altitude. And we definitely did not bring snowshoes. The snow was soft and consolidated. We were sinking up to our knees and sometimes up to our waist. Progress became brutal. What should take us like 2-3 hours to reach Tetros has now become 6 hours. It was incredibly hard to progress on those conditions. We didn't arrive until 11 p.m. By the time we stumbled into Tetros, we were completely exhausted. We had been climbing for about 9 hours. We have done like 2,300 meters elevation gain. And the real climb was yet to come. So after changing some clothes, drinking some water, eating something, gear up. At midnight, we have decided to go back out there and start to climb again. I need to pause here to describe you this moment. The moment where we were walking on that snow, luckily harder, easier to walk, and seeing the Grand Couloir in front of us and the beautiful night sky full of stars was such an incredible experience. I must say was one of the most beautiful moments I ever lived in the mountains. For those who don't know, a Grand Couloir is like a chute where rockfall and ice constantly funnel down. Climbers already died here. This is one of the most dangerous sections of the climb. When you arrive here, we need to move fast and be alert. We roped to each other and we started the traverse. We were completely alone, just the two of us, our headlamps, and the eerie metallic sound, the crunch of the crampons on the ice and snow. I'd never heard anything like it. It was terrifying and beautiful at the same time. After the Grand Couloir, the route straightened out, and we kept pushing higher. Around 4,000 meters, something changed. I started shaking, I was feeling uncomfortable, had a difficult time to talk, and I was feeling that I've started to have some hypothermia symptoms. Luckily, in my latest experience in Iztaccihuatl, to bring myself with a thermos with hot water, at that high altitude, hypothermia can be lethal. I asked my friend to stop a little bit, and he helped me take the things off my backpack, get my thermos. I drink that water. He borrowed me some dry gloves because my gloves were wet. I drink the hot water, and after 15-20 minutes, all the symptoms have gone. I was feeling ready to keep going. So around 5-6 a.m., after climbing all night long, we have finally reached the Gouter refuge at sunrise. That was one of the most beautiful sunrise I ever seen. Seeing all that golden light stretching throughout the entire Alps was an incredible view, incredible experience. For a moment, all the pain had gone, but that won't last long. Reality hit us hard. We had been climbing for over 15 hours, no rest, no sleep. We had gained around 2,600 meters of elevation gain, and we were absolutely wrecked. We took a little break at the refuge. We ate some hot meal, and we decided to regroup, prepare, and try to do a final push to the summit. We geared up and started the summit push. Every step felt like lifting lead weights. We climbed another 400 meters, reaching the Dôme du Gouter at 4,300 meters. We could already see the summit, but we were so exhausted, so exhausted. Every 2 steps that we've made, we fall into our knees. It was on that moment that I had to make one of the most difficult calls I ever made while in the outdoors. I knew that we could summit the Mont Blanc. We had around more 500 meters of elevation and around 3 hours of climbing, but I was almost certain that we wouldn't be able to come back safely. The decision was to call the day and get back to the refuge. And the most important thing when you go to climbing, it's not to summit, but it's to come back. That was the moment that we decided to come back and rest. We slept for 14 hours. On the next day, we could have tried to summit again the Mont Blanc, but the reality was that we were pretty happy with all that we already had achieved. We knew in our hearts that we could perfectly do the summit, but we decided to go back to the valley. First, because we are already happy with all that we have done, the most beautiful climb yet already done, the Grand Couloir, and we also had booked a place in the valley. And the third thing, and one of the most important ones, was that the weather on the afternoon was going to change. The risk was we could go to the summit, come back, but maybe we needed to sleep on a refuge again because we wouldn't be able to go down to the valley. So we descended. We were pretty happy and very proud. Here is what I've learned after 20 hours of physical exercise, of climbing, with around 3,300 meters elevation gain. I faced hypothermia. We climb in dangerous terrains. We push our physical till the limits. At the end of the day, when you go for a climb, it's never about the summit. We all know it's about the summit, but at the end of the day, it's about the journey, the experience. We have learned a lot. For us, it was like getting to the summit. Isn't the story I wanted to tell you, but it's the honest one. I hope soon to try again and maybe have the story about summiting. It did not feel like a failure. Actually, it felt like a very wise decision, and we are very proud of it. So that's my story about Mont Blanc. There is no triumph summit video, but it's an honest one and one with a lot of insights, I think with an important message. If you have enjoyed this story and have learned something with my mistakes, feel free to leave a comment and a like. Let me know what was the toughest decision that you ever made while climbing or while on an adventure. Thanks a ton for watching, stay safe, and I hope to see you on the next week. Peace! We could have tried to summit. So thanks a ton for watching.